This week on Morning Mika, it's all about the Forbes and Know Your Value 3050 Summit in Abu Dhabi. We brought together women from the 30 under 30 and 50 over 50 lists and all ages in between to talk about the most pressing challenges around the world. It was also 4 days of cross-generational mentoring, networking, inspiration, and confidence building, a truly global event with over 400 women from 46 different countries in attendance. We heard from icons, including former president of Liberia, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, personal finance expert Susie Orman, Grammy award-winning singer and songwriter Shania Twain, and many, many more. They all spoke about professional success, personal fulfillment, and especially impact. I'm Mika Brzezinski here with MSNBC contributor Huma Abedin, who happens to be the vice chair of the 3050 Summit. And Huma, you were amazing.
I would say we were amazing. We laughed, we cried, we ate, we sat in community together. And to quote Shania Twain, I think we all left feeling like women.
Yeah, we did. And we all left with kind of an intention, too. There was a lot of pressure on this year's summit, given the turbulence that we're seeing around the world. It was remarkable to see the impact this event has had to women around the globe. And Huma, you shared your personal journey with the audience and conducted a number of incredible on-stage interviews. So let's take a look at Huma in action.
Tell us why you wrote the book, what you learned from the experts you interviewed when you talked about the book.
When I wrote this book, so 20 years ago, I was starting my career as a television and radio host in Quebec, and I went to school with a young woman who had founded started a foundation, BACA. It was for bulimia, anorexia, comportement alimentaire. And she asked me, because she knew I had suffered, you want to get involved? I'm like, absolutely. And the night before announcing what I suffered from to the media, I knew it was the right thing to do, but I'm like, I'm going to lose, I'm not going to have any contracts. Now we talk about it more, but it changed my life because trauma and, let's say, just human wounds, pain, suffering is universal. And you are so right when you say that slowing down is key, because the language of love is slow. And love, not just in the romantic sense of the word, self-care, slowing down, knowing how to sit with our pain. Your needs, you shouldn't expect the minimum. You should expect a maximum of nourishment, presence, and help in your life with the people around you. And we shouldn't have to hold it all together as women.
Can we do a level set and you share with our audience how you talk about you?
Yeah. So first off, I am speaking as one person. The disability community is not a monolith. We are as diverse as any other community, and that's important to recognize, but I am somebody who would identify as being deeply entrenched in the disability rights movement, and so that is the lens that I am speaking from. And it's really interesting as a blind woman how many people are afraid to tell me I'm blind, as if I am unaware. And so they will be like, this is Molly, and she has trouble, would you say with sight? And I'm like, I would say blind. Yes, I would say I'm blind. You're not diagnosing me. Don't worry. I'm not shocked. I call it the B word. People act like it's a slur or something, and it's not. And when we avoid talking about the fact that I am disabled, and I'm disabled because the world has created a space that is not inclusive of everybody who's trying to access it, when we avoid that conversation, we avoid creating the change that needs to be made.
There's this sort of growing feeling that perhaps, just in polling, that perhaps we should be a little bit more focused on the home and maybe not be involved in conflicts overseas in the way we have been in the past. What do you say to young people? What is your message to them when they say it's not our problem, it's somebody else's?
Learn the mistakes of our predecessors. It enables us to be aware of the pattern that trapped the generations before us. And that is power. It's a vital effort into our collective future. And I think the cost of lessons learned too late is far greater than we can afford.
That was so good. There was so much talk about our shared history or history, looking back at history, and also valuing the truth, Huma. I was really moved by your interview with Sophie Trudeau. She was amazing, talking about how the world is experiencing a mental health crisis. What else stuck out to you about that interview?
Well, you started by reminding us about Sophie telling us about her truth. I mean, she's been a mental health advocate for not just the last few years, not since it's become popular, but for the last 20 years, and started by using the bravery of her own story, talking about her own challenges with an eating disorder growing up, talking about the importance of emotional literacy, learning how to slow down and take care of ourselves, that in a fast-paced world, particularly women, Sophie's a perfect example of somebody, you're constantly on a higher wire act, balancing work, balancing motherhood, in her case, doing it on the front page of the newspapers. But the importance of taking care of your brain, your body, and your heart. And one of the things that she reminded us is the importance of teaching our children how to deal with their emotions, that when they're in school, they're taught math and they're taught geography and history. But when they have pain, when they're suffering, to just sort of stop and understand why they feel that way, being comfortable talking about it. She really led us through this, a master class in how to walk in this world by taking care of both your mental and emotional health. And she had lots of great wisdom to share.
We also saw in that video Molly Burke, 30-year-old Molly Burke. Oh, my gosh, she was captivating. And she had so many incredible stories that had incredible messages and guidance. What was the big takeaway for you?
This is a woman who is comfortable talking about uncomfortable things. And I think that's one of the things about Molly that is so powerful and so captivating, is that she has decided to go, full force into conversations. She's a content creator, chose to go into a space where she's experienced discrimination and bullying. She taught us things that we probably should know, and we didn't, like the fact that 70% of blind people in America are unemployed. And so you have a choice, which is either to suffer, to be in pain, to just walk away and say it's impossible, or face forward. She talked about the importance of resilience, how she has had to learn some of these hard lessons herself. Number one, teaching herself that her validation needs to come from within, that as long as she likes herself, it didn't matter who else, what other people thought about her, and to use the negativity as fuel to look for more ways to power through. She was sharing with me backstage that, she's been very interested in becoming an actress and appearing on TV. And you can tell that she's this beautiful, captivating. She walks into the room and she just lights it up. And how hard it is that even now she faces discrimination getting jobs that are given to people with sight. And they're playing roles of blind characters on TV, but she's not giving up, and she continues to just make us laugh, smile, and inspire us. Loved having her on stage.
Also at the 3050 Summit, we spoke about another topic that women tend to shy away from, and that would be money. I interviewed personal finance expert Susie Orman about why this is the case. And Susie also shared her best advice for women who are seeking a brighter financial future. To this audience, it was amazing. And let me tell you, Susie brought the house down. Let's watch.
I am obsessed. This is literally Know Your Value exists because of Susie Orman. I would watch her and I'm like, I want to build something like her. I want to connect like her. I want people to hear what I'm saying and benefit from what I have to say. Not just a pat on the head, but like tangible, real, life-changing advice.
You stand in your truth and you own the power to control your destiny. And the only way that you can do that is to not be uncomfortable about speaking about money, ladies. To speak about money, because there is nothing wrong with money. Money is the foundation of your life, whether you know it or not. Don't let anything define you except how you feel about who you are. And that comes down to what? Knowing your value. I love that you're all going for it. I love that you want to expand. I love that you want to grow. I love that you want to be rich. I love that you want to be powerful. But you have to plan for the what-ifs of life. And those what-ifs can happen at the least expected time. And when you have money that you have put away for yourselves, when you have gotten involved with your money, if anything ever happened to you, then you wouldn't have to be worrying about that. And it's a coin of the symbol I wear around my neck. But let me tell you why I'm giving it to you. Mika, you have done something that has changed this world. You are on a voyage to make women throughout the world know their value.
You have made my life. Susie Orman.
Oh.
Thank you.
We wrapped up the 3050 Summit with an International Women's Day Awards ceremony where we took time to honor some of our icons. Our recipients included 2 Nobel Peace Prize winners, a Holocaust survivor, an environmental activist, and an artist whose life story has shown that time and time again, the strength to power through. Take a look.
In spite of the ache, I'll rise up and I'll do it 1,000 times again.
When we love our mother, when we recognize where we come from, only then can we know who we are.
If we want lasting peace and justice in the world, women's rights are the most important rights to be protected.
Throughout history, women have always been on the forefront of social change.
I grew up in a mixed-race family where on our streets we were considered the savages. That's what people called us, our neighbors. We weren't welcome there. When you're dealing with that kind of humiliation because you're the only ones in the neighborhood who don't have a lunch to go to school, or you're hungry, you don't know when you're getting groceries, you get creative. You get very creative.
I was born on April 2nd in 1943, at the height of World War II. That first day also meant to be my last day of life, since Jewish babies were immediately killed if caught or found under the brutal and genocidal regime of the Third Reich. Having started my life in total isolation and silence impacted my entire life, and I fought hard to make it a meaningful one. Speaking with you gives me and the others like myself the hope that we will be all right as a world. We will be okay.
And Rabbi Erber, I have to say, watching you speak, I mean, this is what I'm talking about. The experiences just keep rolling out minute after minute, and I'm blown away by it all. But you congratulated me for what I had to say this afternoon in my interview with Mika. I didn't know your story yet, and I thanked you, and you said, well, I only say the truth. I would only say if it was true. And now, of course, I understand that your truth is extraordinarily valuable. This experience has just filled me up with inspiration. I am going back to my studio, and I am ready to just write so much music. May we recognize how different we are from each other and appreciate and learn culturally in every way. And most of all, know your value to yourself and to one another.
Rise like the day, I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid, I'll rise up and I'll do it 1,000 times again.
Oh my gosh, Huma. Shania Twain, without singing a song, left it all on the stage at 3050, at the 3050 Summit this year. She was so present, so incredible, and so connected to everything that was accomplished during those 3 days. In fact, everybody was chosen with an intentionality to it. Our award recipients really kind of represented our past, but also our future, the challenges that women around the world are facing today. Don't you think?
Absolutely, Mika. I had goosebumps just watching these videos again, but to start, to your point, and I have to take a moment to say, when Susie said that you have started something, and I said this to you when we were there, launched a movement, it feels like bringing together the generations, the cultures, to have Rabbi Erber tell her story about her as a 2-year-old having tape on her mouth, because that's how her family would keep her safe from the Nazis, from being killed. To fast forward to end our summit with not her just sharing her story, but Shania making that connection, running into each other in the bathroom, and then ending with 12-year-old Adelia Nassim singing Andra Day's Rise Up, which is an anthem for all women. It is all the more reason, the idea of this summit, bringing women together, sharing their power, inspiration, their stories, their hardship, and their journeys, and the possibilities for the future is important, necessary, and valued, and reminded us that we should all know our value. So thanks to you, Mika. Thank you again for being our chair, and can't wait to start planning for next year. I think we've already started planning, but
I didn't think we could top last year, but we did it. And yes, we're already planning next year. And Adelia is our future. So I'm glad we got her in there. For more coverage of the 3050 Summit, head over to knowyourvalue.com and Forbes.com. And by the way, we are already busy preparing for next year's 3050 Summit and our 4th annual 50 over 50 list. So if you know a woman who has proven success has no age limit, visit us on our social media channels to submit your nomination, or consider nominating yourself. Why not? Know your value, okay? It's an incredible community that we have built, and we would love all of you to be a part of it. And if you're too young, you will just have to wait. That does it for Morning Mika. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week on YouTube and Peacock.
Let's go, girls. Man, I feel like a woman. Come on. I'm going out tonight. I'm feeling alright. Gonna let it all hang out. Wanna make some noise, really raise my voice. Yeah, I wanna scream and shout. No inhibitions, make no conditions. Get a little out of line. I ain't gonna act politically correct. I only wanna have a good time. The best thing